Oh my god. She stops in shock.
Help me. I have allergies.
I have a horrible announcement. I broke my tooth. It's awful. People have been commenting disparagingly on my fangs since long before this channel ever started doing well. I've got a tooth gap here. I've got a silver tooth over there. I don't know if you could see it. And because of both conspiracy stuff and also just bad experiences with doctors, I haven't been to a dentist in a very long time. Years and years. And as some of you may have noticed from the background change, I moved out less than a year ago. On top of that, when I was a teenager, I had years and years of what I will just refer to as depression, hygiene, and also NED. And I don't mean to say all this to trauma dump. I'm more just excited to announce my new life chapter, the newest episode of the Daniel Profeta Show, which airs tomorrow. I'm going to the dentist. Can I afford to do that? Not really. Such is the American dream. Attempts will be made regardless. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Every day I use YouTube more and more like a personal diary, because what else can I do but over-involve strangers in my life? How else will I know I exist at all? Anyways, thank you for listening. Make sure to share the fuck out of this video so that I can make money to pay for the tooth and other healthcare related things. It is Crystal Flower Infection Time, created by Yo Kitty Bro. That is a fantastic name. This is an MLP Infection AU with a really interesting art style that I personally haven't really seen before. Thank you to all the cool people who recommended it. We are legion. Let's jump right in. In the Crystal Empire, a crystal pony named Flower Sniffer is taking a stroll through the Crystal Park. She's crystal picking crystal flowers, crystal to crystal freshen, crystal up, crystal the crystal smell of her crystal house for when her crystal roommate comes back from her crystal trip to Crystal Canterlot. While picking flowers, Sniffer spotted something in the corner of her eye. A mesmerizing flower she's never seen before. Hey, Flower Sniffer. Which honestly sounds like it would be a pony slur a little bit. I'm gonna need you to not smell the mesmerizing strange flower. Just a hunch, but I think it might begin the crystal flower infection, right? Is anyone with me on this amazing theory that I just came up with? I think I could be wrong. She just had to sniff it, and we see her lean down to the red plant that honestly, I mean, it looks kind of pretty. I guess the little bulbs that are dangling out of it look pretty, but on the whole, it's pretty unremarkable for a flower, am I right? Sniffer jumped back in shock. Her brain froze, and her body went numb for just a second. But then she was back to normal, and went on with her day like nothing had happened. Then the next slide, we see blood start to come down the nose of the pony, and her face looks overly detailed. Almost like a cutaway gag in SpongeBob when they have the weird faces. I've been trying to catch up. 3 days later, hey Flower Sniffer, I'm home. What the? This pony just stops and stares. I guess this is Flower Sniffer's home address, where there's muddy hoof prints leading to the room. Flower Sniffer, are you in here? I can't get over the name Flower Sniffer. It's so funny. What the hell? Oh my god. She stops in shock.
Help me. I have allergies.
Guys, the art is so peak. This is amazing. Look at that. Okay, so for those viewers who are potentially listening to this as opposed to watching, let me just briefly describe this horrendous creature before me. Frothing at the mouth, there's a kind of pony flower hybrid with the bulbs that I mentioned being kind of cool looking earlier, now kind of spindly tendrils coming out of the mouth and the mane and the hooves. It looks like spores. It looks like the spores from the G.I. Joe animated movie that turned the planet into snakes or whatever. Anyone remember that? Slideshow number 2 is kind of formatted like a comic, which is pretty cool. Immediately after finding Flower Sniffer, Moonbeam was attacked and infected. A day later, the two went out on the town, attacking and infecting any pony that crossed their path. 2 days after their rampage, all infected ponies had turned, which was the majority of the Crystal Empire. This resulted in a mob forming in the streets. Just a few hours prior, all these ponies were alive and being treated in the hospital, so the mob was unexpected. Something kind of cool here in the art style for these comic strips that I'm looking at right now is I can sense the inspiration being from more like classic zombie stuff as opposed to the inspiration being either 28 Days or like, you know, what the artist has seen of analog horror. And it makes sense that a lot of these creators are drawing from sources of inspiration that are a lot newer because, you know, we're all pretty young. But as someone who really likes classic horror and is a big fan of like older physical media, it's really cool to see one that takes the infection, the zombie apocalypse concept, and makes art like this with it, where we can see these hordes slowly descending upon the unsuspecting denizens of the location. This zombie-like pony mob, erupting in the night, woke the unsuspecting princess and her family. As she looked down at the streets below, she panicked. She had to quickly gather herself, however, because she knew this was a dire situation. She handed Shining Armor their daughter and told him to alert the princess. And why is she so small? Here, take our daughter. And it's like the size of someone tossing someone like the keys to the car. I must save the world! Honey, where's my super suit? What? Where is my super suit? I need it! Don't you think about going out there and doing no daring do? We've been planning this dinner for 2 months. The public is in danger. My evening's in danger. You tell me where my suit is, woman. We are talking about the greater good. Greater good? I am your wife. I'm the greatest good you are ever going to get. There's something wrong with me, I'm sorry. With no time to argue, Shining Armor took Flurry Heart and ran to retrieve help. On his way out, an infected pony grabbed him by the tail and leg, attempting to bite him, and it's frothing at the mouth. I really like the design of the infected. And then something zapped the infected, I think, saving him. Run! She screams after him, smoke curling from her horn. With Cadence swooping into his aid, Shining Armor was able to escape. She's in tears watching him zoom away. Wasting no time, Princess Cadence started performing a spell, creating a force field to cover the Crystal Empire and trap the infected inside. And her eyes begin to glow with a ghostly blue light as she stares at her once vibrant kingdom now overrun with chaos. She herself was also trapped. What? No. Unable to escape the infection. To be continued. Dun dun dun! It's also fun how this one is starting in the Crystal Empire. We haven't seen that before, I don't think. We have seen others that focus on the Crystal Empire, just not at the beginning. After endless hours of running, Shining Armor arrived at Princess Twilight Sparkle's castle. Out of breath and unable to stand, he alerts his sister of the bad news. She seemed very happy to see him before he alerted her of the bad news, and he seems to be in terrible shape. Twilight brought Shining Armor inside and laid him down in a bed to rest. But before he could fall asleep, he gave a brief yet detailed report on what was happening in the Crystal Empire. Twilight immediately alerted Princess Celestia and Princess Luna, urging them to quickly come to her castle. Not long after, the two sisters arrived, and Twilight took them straight to Shining Armor, hoping to get more out of him. Unfortunately, as she returns to the room, it seems as though he was in even worse shape than we initially thought. And oh, that's grody. He comes to life and starts to attack her because he's been, I guess, infected. Sorry I'm laughing. I just noticed a comment where someone said, man, this all started because of Fart Sniffer. Terrible. I'm a 12-year-old boy, I'm sorry. But it was too late. The scratch Shining Armor had gotten on the way out of the Crystal Empire had infected him. Seeing how urgent the situation really was, the princesses quickly got to work. Celestia had Shining Armor locked in an inescapable cage, surrounded by guards making sure he wouldn't escape. You can lock me in a cage. Twilight put Starlight Glimmer, Trixie, and Spike in charge of babysitting Flurry Heart. She didn't explain the situation to Starlight, Trixie, or Spike so as not to spread any panic. Damn, the Infection AU creators are obsessed with making Twilight not tell anyone about what's happening, which almost always has ramifications down the road. Let's see, maybe in this case it doesn't. The princesses then gathered the rest of the main six. Twilight explained to them the situation and how they have to go save Princess Cadence and the Crystal Empire, as well as keeping Equestria safe from this mysterious infection. All transportation to the Crystal Empire had been quietly shut down due to it being unsafe for civilians. So after collecting themselves and getting what they needed for the trip, they headed off on hoof to the Crystal Empire. Applejack, what are you wearing? Just a basic zombie hunting outfit. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna need all that junk, especially the axe. It's a little overkill. Honestly, if I know anything about anything, it's apple farming and how to survive a zombie apocalypse. Granny taught me that you gotta be prepared for the worst. These boots help me not get zombie waste all over my hooves. And they were made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. The goggles and bandana prevent me from catching disease, my axe is for protection, and most importantly, my hair being all did up in buns is so no zombers grab me and tear me to shreds. She's got it all figured out. After hours of travel, they finally made it to the Crystal Empire. The princesses started performing a spell, making it possible for them all to enter through the force field. And here is that spell working. I thought you said this place would be crawling with zombies. I don't understand. Shining Armor told me all of the Crystal Empire was infected, that it was swarming with undead ponies. But there's no one here. Maybe all the ponies got better and are all asleep? That sounds nice, but if that were so, Cadence wouldn't have kept the force field up. Or maybe this is all just a big old prank and the whole Crystal Empire is throwing us a surprise party, and they're all about to jump out of a bush and yell, "Pinkie, for Celestia's sake, stop screaming and hopping around. You're drawing too much attention to us." Uh-oh. Pinkie finishes her sentence with surprise and is immediately bit by an undead jumping out of a bush. She knew someone was going to jump out of the bush. That was the Pinkie sense kicking in. Unfortunately, the gift of foresight was not omnipotent. A not very well endowed gift of foresight, only being able to see that there was someone waiting in the bushes to surprise them, not who. Although I really think that she should have known that it wasn't someone waiting to throw a surprise party, but who am I to say? Everyone screams in shock. "Get off my friend!" Guys, I think the screaming is attracting more over, and a bunch of zombies begin to gather around their force field. Pinkie's bleeding, unfortunately. Applejack goes in her pouch. "What are you doing?" "We have to remove the leg." She grabs the hatchet. Everyone else screams, "What?" "We need to cut off the source of infection before it spreads and turns her." "That's ridiculous. What are you even going on about?" She's right. Shining Armor turned into one of those things because of a scratch. We need to amputate Pinkie if we want her to stand a chance. "I don't want to lose my leg," Pinkie wails. "Have it, Pinkie Pie. You ain't got a choice. Now y'all, help me hold her down." "Guys, please don't do this to me." Applejack reaches up and brings the axe down as Pinkie screams in pain. And now blood is just covering Applejack, which is probably not good. I feel like the blood is tainted, no? Dude, so silly. We need to tend to the wound. Rarity, I need your scarf to wrap her leg. "My signature headscarf? Really? Why not use your bandana thingy?" "I would, but it's too small to wrap around her leg and it's covered in liquid Pinkie." "All right, fine. Anything for Pinkie, I suppose." "Before we cover the wound, I believe I can create enough heat in my horn to cauterize. If you think that may help, it's worth a shot. If that works, it'll make her last until we can get her to a hospital." So you were just gonna bind it and just hope to God that she didn't bleed out from you chopping her entire leg off. "Hold still, Pinkie. This is going to burn." And she lowers her flaming horn down to the stump, which is just, damn. Pinkie seems to be in shock and just begins crying out, "Why?" This is really sad. I feel awful. Damn. "I'm sorry, Pinkie. I'm sorry. It was all for your own good." You know, the worst thing is that it's like the person was excited beforehand. That, I think, always makes horrible things feel way more sadistic. It was like this childlike giddiness. I don't know if y'all have ever seen Despicable Me, but at the very beginning of the first movie, I'm pretty sure the initial impression of Gru as a character as a little kid is like upset because of something that happened. Maybe he's like dropped his ice cream or something, and then Gru makes a balloon animal for him and gives it to him, and then the kid stops crying and hugs the balloon animal, and then Gru takes out a needle and pops the balloon in the kid's face, and he's just like, that. And then he starts walking away. And that's your introduction to the character, who is supposed to be a bad guy. That's the whole... And a song's like, as if it wasn't already being hammered into your skull, they start playing a song where the guy's saying, "I'm such a bad guy, right?" You know. However, while I did like the first Despicable Me movie, and the second one's pretty good too, that intro sequence, other people laugh at it. Like, I'm pretty sure, I think I saw it in the theaters when it initially came out, and everyone else laughed at it. That part made me feel like my soul died a little bit. Same thing with Jack Stauber's The Pumpkin Song. It just feels very sadistic evil. It just gets to me for some reason. And in this case, it is mindless. It's not like the creature was targeting Pinkie because of how happy she was. It was more because she was yelling and screaming. I'm curious if that affects other people. I've been told I overreact to stuff like that before, but it just seems so much worse when it's like, hi, I'm like happy or excited about something, and then it's ruined or it's messed up, or like there's an innocence and it is, you know, it's just awful. Anyway, so Pinkie's leg is gone and Twilight is crying. But suddenly she sees a bit of magic far away, twinkling in the purple expanse. She turns with a huh? And sees a huddled figure beneath. Is that a force field, potentially? Cadence? Twilight, where are you going? And she leaves the bubble to go look for Cadence. Cadence, she says with a smile, and tries to get inside the bubble. Cadence, don't worry, we're here now. And her smile falls as she sees that Cadence has blood all underneath her and bite marks taken out of her side. She slowly turns, her horn crackling, blood pouring from her jaw, seemingly still alive. Twilight? Cadence? Twilight, she responds, tears in her eyes. Please don't leave me. Please. She begins to stand up. I don't want to be alone. And then she falls dramatically against Twilight, her horns still glowing. Probably because they're still kind of making the force field. And I guess now the background, which before was purple from the force field Twilight and Fray and company were creating, is now purple and blue because we've entered Cadence's force field as well, which is interesting. Tell me, is Flurry Heart and Shining Armor safe? She really shouldn't be having a conversation with the infected. We should probably put the infected out of its misery before it tries to kill you. Just a thought. Flurry Heart is safe and being taken care of by trusted ponies. And Shining Armor? He didn't make it. He turned shortly after arriving to my castle. Twilight, you're not the element of honesty. Maybe would have been a good idea to withhold that tidbit of information. I'm so sorry, she says, crying. Don't be sorry, it's not your fault. How did this all even start? Here is a file containing all we know about the infection. Before the Crystal Empire broke into absolute chaos, we had guards and investigators try and find the source of the infection. It's not much. We didn't have a lot of time to look around, but we did find a strange flower with some of patient number 1's DNA on it. We're thinking there might be something about that can give us some answers. Flower sniffer. Of course! I was hoping you could make sense of it all. I will certainly try my best, says Twilight, whose face looks a little silly. And Cadence tries to smile. What did you say you did with Shining Armor after he turned? We put him in a strong cage and have him guarded. Remember the inescapable cage from earlier? How is that measured? By what metric? We're about to find out, I guess. What? No, Cadence jolts. We locked up patient number 1 the same way and she broke out of it almost immediately. You need to get back to Ponyville now, before it's too late or Equestria is doomed. This disease spreads like wildfire. Before we know it, life on Earth will cease to exist. She faints. Cadence, get away from me! I'm sorry. I'm turning. I can't have you near me. Please, Twilight. Go and save Equestria before it's too late. And she falls to the floor, and the light goes out of her eyes as her force field dissipates. And Twilight looks down and drops to her knees, and the crystal heart slowly shatters. What is she doing? And they all scream, no! And a dark cloud descends. It's all over. Cadence is gone. And suddenly there's a gigantic magical eruption? What the hell? Twilight seems kind of pissed off. She's okay. I won't let you monsters take any more of my friends, she shouts, hurling magic down upon the incoming zombie hordes. We need to get out of here. This place is about to freeze over and Equestria is in danger. Let's move. There's no time to waste, she says. And she's bringing the document with her. Damn. You look happy. Starlight, Trixie, and Spike are exhausted after a long 2 days of babysitting Flurry Heart. Early in the morning of the 3rd day, crusaders came by to see the royal baby. while Starlight, Trixie, and Spike took a well-deserved break. Applebloom and Sweetie Belle played with Flurry Heart, and Scootaloo kept a lookout for their sister's arrival back to Ponyville. They're back! About darn time! And they all are rushing back. Twilight, we're so glad you're all back. Boy, do I have a lot to tell you. Flurry Heart went on a crazy, strong, magical spree. She somehow got rid of my horn and then turned Trixie into a fish and... Is everyone okay? Oh yeah, it all ended well. No pony got seriously hurt. Not that! I'm talking about Shining Armor. Shining Armor? I thought he just had a cold. What's going on? And what happened to Pinkie Pie? And Twilight looks immediately shocked and teleports them, leaving Flurry Heart alone with the babysitters. Oh, come on! Twilight frantically looks around. Some guards show up. Princesses, thank the stars you're all back. We really need you. Okay, so he's still there. He's in a cage. That's good. The indestructible cage turned out to truly be indestructible. He has gotten increasingly stronger the last 2 days you've been gone. He's broken out of 3 different cages. Never mind. And has infected 4 of our guards. We can't hold him for much longer. What is that? My brother. What? Shining Armor came here a few days ago with Flurry Heart, alerting us about an infection that had overtaken the Crystal Empire. Not long after arriving, he turned into that. We went to the Crystal Empire to try and save it and Cadence, but it was all too late. Before she turned, Cadence gave me this file, containing all they knew about the infection. Wait, Sunburst lives there. Did you see him? We have to go back and find him. I'm afraid there's no going back. It's completely frozen over by an impenetrable force field of cloud. Plus, even if he were still in there, he'd be turned by now. I don't think I saw a single uninfected pony. My Little Pony. That's the name of the movie. Roll credits. I feel like CinemaSins gets a bad rap sometimes. Sometimes. Then I remember that the creator sometimes seems to take it super seriously too. And then I no longer think that way. But when I take it in a lighthearted manner and disregard people who criticize it, I think it's pretty funny sometimes. My Little Pony, there's no need to worry. Sunburst went on a retreat with Star Swirl before the infection started. Did he not write to you about that? Oh, right. Star Swirl! Why didn't I think about Star Swirl? I'll bet he'll know what to do. He's probably seen this before. Haha. Spike, take a note. Star Swirl the Bearded. So Spike is just standing there kind of shocked at the loss of the brother, and they're all obviously in a state of shock. Like I said, as per usual, Twilight has decided to withhold information from them. Bad Twilight. Bad horse. Don't do that. And he's just kind of standing there, and so she begins to actually write something herself for once instead of using her little servant boy. All right, I've alerted Star Swirl and the rest of the pillars about the situation. Now, let's figure out what to do with my brother. Twilight, Luna, and Celestia try their best to hold back Shining Armor. It's proving difficult due to his growing strength. The princesses are not completely sure what to do with him. Nothing holds him for long. Catching them off guard, a large glow bursts from behind them. And there's Star Swirl and company. Fantastic. I'm so happy you're all here! Sunburst! And there's a bunch of happy reunions, and then Star Swirl comes and looks at the files. Twilight wastes no time giving the pillars the whole rundown of the situation. She asks if they have ever seen this before and if they know what to do. To her disappointment, none of them can say yes. I may be of some help. When we got the letter, I quickly read up on a few things. Something about all this is ringing some bells in my head. I haven't quite put my hoof on it yet, but I think I can help solve this and create a possible cure. This all sounds very promising, but perhaps we deal with him first?
I believe I know how to capture your brother without him escaping. Unfortunately, it may be a bit upsetting for you, but we will have to use these.
I think there's the elements, right? That's what... If I'm remembering correctly, the elements are like personified as these crystals that correlate to the cutie marks on the characters. I may be misremembering. And they use their magic and attempt to seal away the figure that's starting to turn kind of draconic. And he's sealed in stone. Yeah, okay, yeah, I was right. The princesses come and tell Twilight to call it a day, and she's like, no, I'm fine. Twilight, really, I'm okay. I don't even care about my brother, really. If you guys would like to head off, that's all right, but I got a lot of work to do. Twilight, listen to me. You haven't slept in 48 hours. I know you feel like all this responsibility falls onto you, but it does not. We are here to help. After all you've been through the past few days, you need to get some rest. You need to regain your energy if you want to continue to work on this. You, of all ponies, deserve some relaxation. And she starts tearing up. You're right, princess, I'm sorry. Boy, am I looking forward to going home and hugging my family. Actually, you'll all need to stay here until you're deemed safe to interact with other ponies. We aren't sure what you've been exposed to, and if you can transmit any disease, I'm gonna have to put you all in quarantine. And they all look back with like this haggard, exasperated look of, come on, man. This quarantine also includes any ponies they've interacted with since they left the Crystal Empire. And then they use magic to bring the other characters in who were off babysitting. Finally! I like the writing of this one, where the dialogue feels like it could have come from the show, or the art kind of includes little bits of comedy or slice of life stuff that just make the characters feel more full of life, I guess. After a difficult last few days, the main 6 are finally able to relax a bit. Twilight, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, and Applejack all gave their love to their family members that are quarantining with them. Afterwards, they were all able to wash up and get comfortable. Montage. Resting montage instead of training montage. You guys need to be running through the streets, saying hello to people that earlier in the film weren't really in your corner, but now they're like, hey, we know you! Rocky. While the main 6 rest, all the other quarantining individuals get to work. Mage Meadowbrook gave each pony a general health check. Sunburst ran some tests on Pinkie Pie. Star Swirl, Luna, and Mistmane got to researching anything they could. And Somnambula, Rockhoof, Flash Magnus, and Spike all helped watch the young ponies and keep them distracted from the situation. I forgot that there's a character named Flash Magnus. That's hilarious. Flash Magnus. More like Snake Plissken. Another John Carpenter movie reference. One that I have definitely seen before, as at least one person in the audience can attest to. Meanwhile, nightmares. Terrible nightmares. I'm so sorry. Twilight things. There's a zombie apocalypse going on right now? Can you two quiet down over there? Pinkie Pie's trying to rest. Are we all gonna die? How long till I get infected? Are you guys infected? What's going on? Is she going to eat us? Oh no. Twilight does not seem to be doing very well. And also, that crown is looking a little bit like a crown of thorns. Twilight Sparkle is Jesus, confirmed. Hi, remember when I said that I needed dental help? The dentist cut into the tooth that was having the issue, like took half of it away, leaving basically an exposed bundle of nerves, which are currently still, it's been a few days, in intense pain, and then was like, whoops, sorry, you actually need a root canal, and we are not able to perform that, so we're gonna have to refer you to a different location, and this other location will probably not be able to take you for you know, however long, right? Sorry about that. I'm going to try to finish this video. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I don't die. I'm kidding, I won't die. Snoring, drooling even, as rays of light slowly pool down from the massive drapes in the background. She sits up, glancing around nervously. Every other bed is empty. Hello? Where is every pony? She begins walking. Rainbow, if this is one of your stupid pranks, it isn't funny. Suddenly, she hears a loud, crashing, banging noise coming from down the hall, and screaming. It sounds like Flurry Heart. She cries out, Flurry Heart, don't worry, I'm coming. She flies down the hall, stopping short and staring, because there Flurry Heart sits, crying, bawling her eyes out on top of like a filing cabinet. And there's a pony missing a leg. Oh, it's Pinkie Pie from the Cutie Mark, just lurching towards the baby, reaching up, trying to grab at her. Terrifying. Get away from her, she screams, using her magic to pull Pinkie away. And for a split second, we see Pinkie's eyes, and she doesn't look too good. But then she kind of like pulls back, and it's like her features have softened. I honestly really like the whole sequencing of these comic panels. Like, that was really good. That felt like I was watching a movie. Pinkie, she says, confused, as Flurry Heart flies off the filing cabinet and hides behind her. Pinkie just kind of stares. I'm sorry for scaring you. It's kind of hard walking with just 3 hooves. Flurry Heart has been on the loose for a few hours now. And she hands Flurry Heart what looks like a snail. I can't tell if the snail is an actual snail or if it's like a stuffed animal or something. Beats me. I thought I'd try and catch her, but I guess I'm not as warm and welcoming anymore. I should be the one apologizing. I nearly blasted you into a million pieces. I wasn't expecting you to be up and about. How's your leg? Well, leg's still gone. That's amazing. I love that. Otherwise, I'm fine. I just have a small cold. Suddenly, one of the guards comes flying in. Flurry Heart, don't worry, all is good. Flurry just got a little spooked. Twilight, it's great to see you're finally up. How was your rest? How long was I asleep? About 2 days, and I thought I was a heavy sleeper. What? How could you all let me sleep that long? Calm yourself, Twilight Sparkle. We managed while you were asleep. We didn't want to interrupt your sound slumber. You deserved that break. We managed while you were asleep. Really, your presence isn't necessary in any capacity whatsoever. I'm kidding. The word managed implies that it was probably difficult, but we're glad you're back. Well, now that you're awake, we'll be heading to Canterlot. But what about the quarantine? It has been determined that the virus is not airborne. We have been medically cleared and the quarantine has been lifted. We've been away from our royal duties for so long that I'm afraid the palace will fall into panic if we don't go back soon. We believe all you ponies can handle everything from here on out. That's great! So does this mean you've all found a cure? Not yet. I actually needed some help from you. I'm having a difficult time understanding some holes in the investigative files. I'm afraid I haven't studied some of the suggested theories in here. I thought maybe you can help me figure them out. Sounds good. I'll definitely lend a hoof. Don't know why you couldn't have done it while I was sleeping, but maybe you were just busy. Well, on that note, Luna and I will head back now. I believe you and your friends will be able to fix this in no time. We'll keep in close contact, of course. They're really taking this kind of lightly. I feel like we're not taking this serious enough. Just judging off like the what normal is within the show itself. Like, characters aren't dying, you know? On average, in an average episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, you don't have gore flying around and infected hordes of, you know, zombies. So I feel like this sudden 182. Anyways, don't worry about it. We're just gonna go back to work. You guys will handle it. It'll be fine, is insane. Suddenly Spike rushes into the room. Twilight! There are a lot of ponies at the door that need you. Did they state why they needed me? They didn't need to. What do you mean they didn't need to? Oh, seems as though a lot of people are getting quite sick. She cries out, how is all of Ponyville sick? I don't know. I just got notice from Celestia, Star Swirl, Flash Magnus, Somnambula, Rockhoof, and Miss Mane that it doesn't seem the infection has spread elsewhere. Couldn't we have just narrowed that list of names down? I'm not sure how much longer that'll last, though. There's no use in starting a panic. What are we going to do? We have no cure. And it looks like as Trixie is saying, what are we going to do? We have no cure. We see a small mosquito land on her. This is the best time to panic. Why shouldn't we panic? Oh yeah, because you're known to be so calm and level-headed in a panicky situation. I don't know, I'm just trying to be the level-headed one here. Hey, how about we stop yelling at each other and start trying to figure out how this happened? Fine, where do we even start? And he begins examining, it looks like Pinkie, who also seems to have a bite mark. Interesting. I'm also noticing that all of the different characters have text colors that align with who is speaking, which is interesting. I think I know what happened. I've noticed that window has been open for the last day and a half now, and with it being so hot and humid lately, there have been quite a few mosquitoes flying in. And then I noticed Pinkie Pie had a bunch of mosquito bites on her. And as it is commonly known, mosquitoes can spread disease by acting as carriers of the disease-causing microorganisms, aka the virus. The virus then multiplies inside the mosquito and is transmitted to another host through the mosquito's saliva when it bites. And Pinkie, although not sick herself, carries the virus in her blood. Who is it that opened the window for these disease-carrying pests? And then they all turn to Trixie, who is sweating bullets.
Hello, me. It's me again.
What does he say? Talking to myself, a credit to dementia? I don't remember. Feeling paranoid as if the walls are closing in. It was you, wasn't it? I was starting to feel claustrophobic. We haven't been out in days. I needed some fresh air. I didn't mean to let the mosquitoes in. And they all start screaming at her like, holy moly, wow. How could you? You're so selfish. You've doomed us all. Poor Trixie. Starlight, back me up here. And she's not getting backed up here. And she begins to cry. Everyone's glaring at her. You know what? The great and powerful Trixie does not need this slander. The great and powerful Trixie does not need friends. The great and powerful Trixie is out of here. And she poofs as if she's going to vanish into the ether, only to then be running away. And she seems very sad. and they all look after her. Fluttershy goes, "So now what?" "Well, due to the circumstances, we will have to go back into quarantine. We should start some new tests on every pony and sit put until we know they haven't been bit. Then we should..." "Y'all, I'm sorry, but absolutely not. Spike, can you please go get the girls?" "But Applejack..." "Twilight, please, I can't be here any longer. We've all been away from our homes and families for too long. There is simply no way I'm gonna be leaving my family all alone out there to die in this damn zombie apocalypse. Any pony else is welcome to stay, but I'm going home and hugging my family. Come on, Applebloom." Twilight turns to the others. "Guys, I'm sorry, Twilight, but my animals need me. I've left Angel in charge for far too long. I'm afraid I must leave too. The stress has completely washed me out. I need a day to myself." I'll be back, I promise. I just need some time. I should also get Scootaloo home." Twilight just kind of stands there in shocked disbelief as all of her friends are like, "I'll be fine. Don't worry about it." Amazing. And the party kind of splits in half. One side heading out, and the other side, led by Twilight, kind of looking after them, not really knowing what's going to happen next. "I understand if you all want to leave too. I won't stop you. We're not going anywhere, Twilight. We've got a virus to cure. We're with you every step of the way." "Well then, we've got some work to do." This next part has, it looks like some slightly different, like shading? I don't know. I'm not an artist. The shadows and stuff and the way that the images are put together and crafted and drawn seem to, the art style seems to have shifted slightly. And we've got yellow, like a yellow tint over a lot of it. I think it's pretty cool. I like how unique the art style has been and how it keeps kind of reinventing itself throughout the series. Immediately after all of Ponyville arrived to Twilight's castle, Twilight and her friends got to taking care of and testing each pony. Sunburst and Mage Meadowbrook had very quickly put together a prosthetic leg for Pinkie Pie. After many hours of tiring physical therapy, Pinkie was finally able to have Twilight ask, "How's your leg?" and say, "Still not there." Pinkie was finally able to run around and play again. Her spirits lifted so high that she started to slowly get her color back. Hell yeah. That's fantastic. Character growth. Even though things were looking well for Pinkie's recovery, the same could not be said about the other patients. No standard procedures for virus controlling and healing were working. Patients were getting sicker and sicker by the hour, they started to refuse water and food, and the IV fluids were only helping so much. Twilight knew they didn't have long before it was too late for them. Twilight and her friends spent hours searching through every book they could find to try and find any sort of solution, but to no avail. They found 0 avails. None of them. "I've read just about every one of these books 3 times over, and yet absolutely nothing. I think I may need a fresh pair of eyes in order to check for a 4th time. Although I'm starting to get slightly doubtful you have the answer in your library, Twilight. Maybe we need some magical solution for this. We should call up Discord, see if he knows anything about a strange Crystal Empire zombie outbreak. Something this chaotic seems right up his alley." And then suddenly he has like a moment, a light bulb going off moment, and he slowly turns and Twilight also has, her eyes have gone wide. "Ha ha ha, well, good night, Twilight." "Good night," she says, and smiles at him, and they're both acting really strange. I thought that they both just came to the conclusion that maybe Discord had something to do with it. I guess not. Is Twilight, like, doing something wrong? She's made a lot of very weird decisions in the last few... I don't understand these panels here. I keep thinking his name is Starburst, and it's not. It is Sunburst. I'm sorry. But I feel like, what is going on here? Are one of them bad? Are they evil? Sunburst goes and begins to write a letter. I'm not sure who to. And then he puts it under his pillow, goes to sleep, and then starts to wake up, only to see someone looming over him. "Twilight?" And then he turns and sees Twilight. "What? Huh?" His horn has something growing on it, and behind him he hears click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, and just sees the dead eyes staring back through the shadows. "Twilight? Hello, Sunburst." Dun dun dun. What is going on? Alright, so his horn is messed up, so he probably can't, like, defend himself. "Twilight, what? Oh, he's tied up. Damn. Tell me what you know." "What? I don't know what you're talking about." "Is that so?" And then she holds up his paper and begins to read it aloud with a smirk or a snarl. I fear I may have figured out the origin of this virus. Nearly a week ago, Twilight and I were working on a scientific botanical experiment in the Crystal Empire. Too many details relate back to that moment. I may have some ideas as to a potential antidote for this virus after coming to form my epiphany. I also fear I am not the only one aware of this. Twilight has been acting a bit off. I'm unsure as to why she hasn't come forward about it, but she knows? Okay, fine, I remember. I was going to talk to you about this in the morning, I swear. I just needed to get some rest first. I wrote the note so I'd remember. You know what? I can forget all about this. We can just tell every pony about how this all started together. It will all be okay. No! We need to tell them. Absolutely not. And her hair catches on fire, and she slowly... Wait, what on earth? She moves the candle, the burning candle, past Sunburst, illuminating something behind him. What on earth? What? Why? Now tell me what you know about this antidote. He attempts to use his magic only to find it futile. Dark magic, the one thing King Sombra was good for. I cast a spell on your horn that prevents you from using magic. You're not going anywhere. How'd you even get us down here past the guards? They really aren't that hard to subdue, and it shows a little montage of them eating a cake and falling asleep. Love it. Now talk, or you're this thing's breakfast. And the creature's kind of snarling and growling, but the eyes actually have like the quality to them where it looks like a cute little animal's eyes, so I actually kind of like that little thing. I kind of want him to eat Sunburst, not Starburst, sorry. Okay, I remember our science experiment back in the Crystal Empire. The timeline and certain details in the file aligned with what we did. Also, how it didn't use any magic whatsoever, so that we shouldn't be looking into magical solutions. What we need to do is recreate that experiment, step by step. It must have been something to do with the necromancy aspect of it all. Although I thought nothing came from the experiment, something must have happened once we left. If we recreate the experiment, we can create an antidote from the flower. I believe this can be done in just a few hours. See, now was that hard? Does this mean I can be untied now? Sure, she says. And he is untied. And then he tries to get up and move and finds himself in like a cage of some kind. You said that was all I had to do! Sorry, I just can't be sure you won't tell. Better safe than sorry. You understand. Oops, almost forgot. We can't have this thing looking like a murder. Twilight, please, I won't tell, I swear. Get me out of here. And the creature's like slowly approaching with saliva dripping down. It's nothing personal, she says, as she creates a magic bubble around, like a force field around them. And it looks like she just lets him be eaten. I won't let any pony risk my friendships. Now, what's interesting here is Twilight's eyes have been fucked up for a while. People in the comments have been referring to it. They've like red or yellow. And we were talking about King Sombra a second ago, the one thing King Sombra was good for. And he mentioned discord, and it looked like that was the beginning of this sort of like tension. So I wonder if Twilight's like possessed by discord or something. Also, look at the neck on Twilight in this frame. Look at those neck muscles. That's crazy. The next slideshow goes back to 4 days before the start of the infection, back when everything was normal. Thanks for helping me with this project. I know it's rather silly, but I think this will be a lot of fun. Discord and I got into an argument about how real-world science and biology is no fun compared to chaos magic, so I thought I'd bring singing flowers that are purely biological, made with absolutely no magic, to Fluttershy's next tea party. It'll show him how cool science really is. Oh, it's no problem. I love a good goofy science experiment. Plus, I've been reading up on necromancy. Oh, yeah, no magic whatsoever. I love a good science experiment. Anyways, necromancy. The dark arts. Raising souls from the dead. Bringing bodies. Creating a skeletal corpse legion army. You guys are my skeleton army. I live, I die, I live again. I'm coming with an army of skeletons. And I think I found some things that'll do just what we need. And it's a nice montage of them trying to grow these plants and teaching them music and doing, whatever they do. And I feel like we're not controlling for magic when we're literally using it to hold things and move things every 2 seconds. But what do I know about science? Let's see. Create our own flower species. Check. Play music for the seeds. Check. Create potion to bring the flowers to life and sing. Check. Now all we have to do is see if this will actually work. I'm hoping the Crystal Empire's soil will help the flowers grow well. I've heard the dirt here is fantastic for gardening. Oh yeah, the soil here is great for plant growth. Let's use this patch of dirt over here. It's the very patch of dirt where Flower Sniffer started it all. Goddamn Flower Sniffer, you couldn't have just left well enough alone. I know your name is literally Flower Sniffer, but still, come on. All right, moment of truth. They put their little potion on it. They stare, nothing happens. 3 hours later, they are still waiting and nothing has happened. All right, I call it quits, nothing is happening. Probably for the best. I have a train to catch in 10 minutes? Well, this was fun. Sorry it didn't work out. Anyways, catch you later. Bye! And he just zips away. And she waves and looks down with a huff. So much for proving science to be cool. Meanwhile, somewhere beneath the plant, we can see a dead corpse of a rodent-like creature. The flower itself seems to be infecting the creature, potentially with necromancy magic. Its eyes open, and the flower sprouts, and a little tendril comes out of the flower looking almost like a tongue. And here comes someone now! And everything goes dark, and it cuts to Twilight with the strange look in her eyes, going through notes, trying to understand. In the comments, I found someone saying, am I being silly, or does the little guy in the soil have the same colored eyes as Twilight? Is that the infection itself? Is it King Sombra? Is it Discord? What is it? And the creator responded, the necromancy potion seeped into the dead hamster/guinea pig thing and brought it back to life, in turn infecting the flower with its zombie juices, in turn making the flower the infected. Interesting. And so really Twilight and Sunburst were both to blame for this horrible, tragic event. And then the next slideshow opens with, Sunburst is gone. It seems like he has been killed. And I am a little bit confused. When Twilight said, we're going to make this not look like a murder, did that mean that she was going to frame him for suicide? Like that he did it on purpose or something? I have no idea. All that remains is his corpse and also his glasses. So most of him remain, actually. Let's get some of that necromancy potion in here. They stare down in shock. Well, most of them do. Twilight doesn't. Hey, you should get out of here. This shouldn't be your last image of him in your head. Besides, your tears may clean away any important data that could be collected here. Go off and get some more rest, okay? And she looks up with tears in her eyes, and Twilight has a little smile. And she's walking away. All right, everybody, we've got a lot of work to do. We don't have the luxury of time, so let's clean up this gruesome scene. I found some potentially promising leads from Sunburst's final recordings here that may be just what we need. Twilight? Sup, Luna? Oh, damn, she's going nuts. Is everything all right? You seem off today. What? No, everything's just fine. Come on, Twilight, everything is not just fine. I know exactly what you're running from here. It's not what you think. I had to. It's no good trying to run from your nightmares. You know, I've tried to before, and it'll only cause more disaster. You need your sleep, Twilight. I can help you through this. Just say the word. I've got all this melatonin right here. Oh, yeah. Right. My nightmares, they've been rather personal, and I want to conquer them on my own. I haven't figured out how to tell you this because I'm slightly embarrassed, so I've been avoiding it all by not sleeping. Don't worry. I understand. I assure you, Luna, you don't. I won't invade the privacy of your dreams, I promise. Just please get some sleep. We need you at your best. Thank you for being honest with me, Twilight. And she slowly walks away as Twilight's losing her mind. Fun montage of her reading from books and experimenting on plants and trying to make potions and looking at mosquito bites, and then suddenly bursting into the room. I've got it. Eureka! I found some recordings in Sunburst's latest studies that really helped me. Using what I found, I concluded the issue was non-magical, and what we needed was a biological solution. Figure that out all on your own, Twilight? After a lot of tweaking, I came up with this potential antidote that may cure this infection. All of this may be a problem of the past by tomorrow. Everyone's kind of looking at her a bit incredulously. She takes out a needle, extracts the poison, and jabs an infected pony with a hideous smile on her face. See how hideous that smile is? And the pony gasps, begins to sit up, coughing and hacking, inhaling, and then, I feel fine! And her eyes light up with a sparkle, haha, and everyone else is kind of just like, holy shit, did that just work? Now that you've found the cure, will you finally get some sleep? The cure? Friday, I'm in love. Not until every pony is cured, and Spike is wheeling in more of the vials. And it's another montage of happiness and joy. Everyone is getting the shot. Everything's going great. I did it, guys. I did it. Twilight's asleep. She's sleeping quite soundly. Light comes in, slowly, lazily, floating down through specks of light. She sits up refreshed, brushes her teeth, combs her hair. She's sparkling. Her name is Sparkle, after all. She seems to be having a fantastic day. Good morning, you two. How are you both doing? Oh, what?
Fuck, dude.
Oh, what? Okay, so there's blood everywhere, and it looks like they're tearing the corpses. They're cannibalizing each other. Oh, God. Twilight stares as sweat beads on her forehead and slams the door and begins to run away. That was just one mess up, no problem. The others will be fine. He was more sick than the rest, that's why he turned. Everything is fine. And then she enters the sick bay to find everybody in there frothing at the mouth and clawing at the walls. Probably gonna start eating each other pretty soon. This is going fantastically. Twilight, Mr. Waffle didn't take to the antidote. He turned and... Everyone just kind of is slack-jawed staring at the carnage that is about to be unleashed upon them all. Go get the guards and every pony else. We need to keep the dead in here. I have to go get my friends to help handle this. Spike is brushing his teeth and then suddenly is not. Come on, Spike! She begins flying through the town. Rarity. Oh, hi, Twilight. And now we've got Rarity in tow, whose outfit seems to keep changing. Why is Rarity's outfit changing so frequently in literally each panel that she's in? What the hell? Oh, hey guys, what's up? Hi, Fluttershy, I need your help back at the castle. Oh, I don't know, my animals really need me back here. This is life or death, darling, no time for cowering. After we get Applejack, we need to rush over to Dash's place. Time isn't on our side right now. She knocks and... Oh, Rainbow Dash, what are you doing here? Well, Scootaloo didn't have anyone to go home to, so I thought it would be safer for her here. And Twilight, hi, what brings y'all on over? Is everything going all right? Say it with me, guys. Say it with me. On 3. 3, 2, 1. I hope everything's okay back at the castle. You guys cut your manes? Yup. It's safer for our hair to be out of the way is all. Can't be too prepared. One thing's for sure, my family ain't going down to no zombies. I invited Dash and Scootaloo along because I thought I'd need the company. Okay, cool. Well, I need you both back at the castle now. Let's stop wasting time and go. Everyone's reunited. They find Pinkie Pie. They all get their elements of harmony. They all rush back to the castle. All right, girls, get ready. Oh, no. All right, Twilight says. Let's turn some zombies to stone. Gee, isn't this a little inhumane, turning all of Ponyville to stone? I mean, those are still our friends, right? It's either turn them to stone or blasting them into a million pieces. Or does having them devour us sound better? These aren't the ponies we once knew. We need to take care of them now. And they rise with their magic power. Ooh, spooky. And now they're all at the round table. Is that implying that they did it? That they turned everyone to stone? That it's all done already? All right, now it's time for them all to argue. Why in Equestria have you been dressing in these ridiculous outfits all day? It's very distracting. We need to focus on the issues at Hoof, not your frilly dresses. Darling, please, if anything, your outfits and haircuts have been distracting. I've just been showing off my new line of stress couture. Damn it, I forget how to pronounce that. You and Applejack making out every 2 seconds is kind of making it distracting to fight the zombies. All of this has been so stressful. What have we done to deserve such a scary situation? Who do you think has been up to all this mayhem? Goodness, I hope they stop it soon. Notice how Pinkie isn't really joyous or happy anymore. Whoever is doing this probably doesn't even know what they're doing. Ain't no way to start a controlled zombie apocalypse. Heck, they probably have been eaten up by their own creation. Oh, Celestia, I hope not. If they're gone, then they can't resolve this. Oh goodness, what are we gonna do? I don't think I can turn more ponies to stone. You gotta pull yourself up by your bootstraps, girl. This ain't no time to be freaking out. If this gets any worse, you're gonna have to do worse than turning ponies to stone. Maybe this was Discord. It has been very chaotic. Hey, he wouldn't do this. He's a good guy. Thank you, Fluttershy. I'm a reformed Draconiquist. Plus, I don't take pleasure in the physical pain of ponies. Where was he the entire rest of this time? I'm sorry. I know I split up my recording of this into 2 sections, but it feels like this has been one of the longer ones that I've covered. And he wouldn't do this. He's a good guy. Then he shows up to be like, thank you for the compliment, Fluttershy. Best characters. Best characters in the show. Oh, yeah? Prove it. Oh, come on. I'm as honest as an apple. Amazing. And he turns his head into Applejack's head, just in case anyone listening at home is not watching the panels. Now, if you would ask me, I would look within yourselves for the answer here, he says, glaring at Twilight. Interesting. But he's not revealing anything, but it seems like maybe he knows. She stares at him. Well, we aren't asking you. And they begin to argue, but Twilight seems very, very disconcerted. And Discord stares at her before slowly moving behind Fluttershy's chair to stare at her. This has got to be Discord. Look at the man's face. At least I'm going to pin down who it is. I'm willing to keep your dirty little secrets to myself for now, but I suggest resolving all of this really soon. Because if anything, and I mean anything, happens to Fluttershy, I will come for you, and I won't just blow the lid on your lies and actions. I will personally make sure your fate is worse than any pony that has gotten infected due to your stupid little science experiment. And he's saying all this while he's has a mini version of himself in her ear. We need to stop all this messing around. Pinkie finally weighs in. Why so serious, Pinkie? Oh boy, I'd like to know how you got that scar. I got that reference. I think a bunch of people were like, Daniel, how did you not get the Doctor Who reference in one of I think the last one that I did? And I'm sorry, guys. I've never seen Doctor Who. I have, however, seen The Dark Knight. And Why So Serious immediately followed up with, I'd like to know how you got that scar. Genius, beautiful, amazing even. None of your beeswax, chump. Jeez, and I thought you were the fun one. I've contacted Celestia and other pillars stationed around Equestria about the recent developments. So far, nothing seems to have spread outside of Ponyville, but Celestia has Canterlot and close towns and cities in lockdown until further notice. Celestia did also mention a few groups of ponies in Canterlot getting the common cold. It could be nothing, but we should continue to work on this antidote and perhaps pin down how this all started. See, this is already spreading. What we should be doing is creating a zombie defense. We need to be prepared for the worst here. We don't know that it's spreading. I mean, this could all be nothing. We should just focus on some sort of vaccine to fix all this and stop being such a baby about this, Fluttershy. Open your eyes. All of Ponyville is dead, and this is only going to get worse. Applejack is right. We need to train ourselves and other ponies. We're going to start doing more than sending ponies to stone prisons. Soon the world will be swarming with these monsters, and you can either get with the program or die a coward. Get with it or get out of the fucking way! You guys are so annoying. We need to prepare. We need to calm down. Seriously! So no more spa days. Stop arguing! What good will it do us if all we do is fight? We're all in this together. Without each other, Friendship is magic. We need to remember that, guys. Without each other, we might as well be cast to stone ourselves. Our friendships are how we solve the issue, not antidotes or doom prepping. Together, we are our strongest, and fighting is how this disease wins. So please, just stop being so stupid, dumb, idiot morons, and just get along. We need each other, now more than ever. Right, Twi? And I thought that said right, twin. Right, twin. And she looks to the left and to the right and goes, I mean, I really couldn't have said it better myself. I'm so proud of you, Starlight. And then she turns into toy Twilight for a second for no reason, which is hilarious. Everyone's kind of looking at her. Discord kind of floats over to sow some discontent. Gee, Twilight is looking rough. Someone really should check in on her. What are you getting at, Discord? What? I'm just worried about my good friend, Twilight. I mean, I don't know if she'll open up to us. If only some pony could go into her head and... Oh wait, you can go into her dreams. I bet she's having some pretty gnarly nightmares. She probably just needs your help sorting them out. You know how it can be going through all that alone. It's no journey she should be facing just by her lonesome. Huzzah, we have the answer. Just go into her dreams tonight and... It's sweet that you care, but I made a promise to Twilight. Okay, you win. To be continued. I really like the dialogue. I feel like I'm noticing a pattern though. Quite a few of the series we've gone over now have had a section where everyone's kind of gathered and they all kind of argue and they are very close to character, which is fun. I've been really liking when the series do that, although it is like, okay, we've seen it quite a few times. Recently, people have been requesting some non-My Little Pony Infection AU stuff. I've tried doing that before. I've done The Amazing Digital Circus and I've done SpongeBob. I think those were the only two. There might be one I'm missing though. I'm really happy that Discord is now in it. He's one of my favorite characters. Y'all know this at this point. I feel like it's a little cliche for me to think Discord is my favorite character since most of my favorite media characters have the same kind of archetype, but what can I say? I'm a simple man. After Twilight came by to retrieve her friends, Rarity, Applejack, and Rainbow Dash ordered their households to stay put and in no way leave their homes. Of course, it wasn't long until the Cutie Mark Crusaders disobeyed these orders and snuck their way out. They're so dumb, guys. Maybe they'll help somehow, or maybe they will all die. Let's find out. They all go to their tree house, their tree fort. And they have a nice hug session, which is such a great thing for them to be doing right now. We missed you so much, Sweetie Belle. I missed you guys too. Unfortunately, Rarity has been using me as a living mannequin for several days now, so I've been trapped. She refused to let me step even one hoof out of the house. Oh, we understand. My family has been doom prepping ever since Applejack got home. They've been making us wear these ridiculous outfits that supposedly keep us safe. Once AJ and RD left, we knew it was our chance to escape. Is that why you guys got new haircuts? I was gonna say they're super cute. Short hair really agrees with you, Apple Bloom. And Scootaloo, you look so cool and mature with your shorter hair. I wish I could pull it off like you both do. Heh, thanks. My whole family cut their hair because long hair can get in the way when fighting zombies. I mean, apparently Pinkie Pie lost her leg because a zombie grabbed her by the tail and bit her. Better safe than sorry, I guess. Plus, it is quite cute. Also, I think you'd be able to pull off short hair too. I don't know, you really think so? Yeah, then let's cut it! Start a montage. Dun 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 dun. That's not the right music, but you know what I'm saying. And now they don't know what they're doing. They're cutting her hair. All right, we're done. Can I see it? Yeah, but just keep in mind it's really hard to cut hair with my mouth. And I've never used an electric razor before. Just let me see it. And they're like not showing the hair. And she's like, hi, and they're braced for impact. And then she's like, I love it, and then they're like, yay, everything's happy. Now I'm ready to fight some zombies. They go running out of the treehouse. This is adorable. Great. They all are so happy. They've got sticks. If we didn't already have our cutie marks, I bet we would have gotten them in fighting zombies. And they're laughing. And then there's a crack. Cocaine. No, there's a crack, a rustle in the bushes. And they all stop short and stare at the rustling leaves. Stay back, Sweetie Belle. We've got this. and they scream out, and a little bunny hops out. And then they start laughing. It was just a rabbit. You guys were so scared, and she's slowly backing up towards another bush. And she's quite small, and the bush is quite large behind her, which leads me to believe that the one cracking up and saying, "You guys were so scared," is about to get scared. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I'm right. I see it. There's a shadow coming up behind her. Yep. Hey, this is serious. All that over a rabbit. Sweetie Belle, please. You guys should have seen the looks on your faces. Sweetie Belle, they say, staring up at the thing looming behind her. Calm down, guys. I'm just joking around. Sweetie Belle, behind you! And I love how the art style has been extremely cute up until this point, and now it turns into detailed like cross-hatching and like shadows and it's like, yeah, it's totally different. The vibe shifts a lot. And oh shit, there's an infected. Who is that? Is that Trixie? Do we think that's Trixie? Did Trixie get got? That would make sense. Later that night, everyone's asleep in the beds. Luna sneaks into the room. I'm sorry, Twilight. And breaks her promise. Amazing. Don't trust authority, guys. And she enters the dream, walking through a dismal forest, looking around to see the rodent on the ground, foaming at the mouth, massive fangs, crawling towards her, sticking its tongue out. And she jumps back in fright, begins galloping away until she finds a long hall of ponies turned to stone. Down the hall, she finds what appears to be Twilight and Sunburst, but Sunburst's head has fallen off of the statue. Luna looks around. What the? Suddenly, the statue's head comes to life and whispers, "Run." She looks up and sees Twilight's eyes have begun to glow. Her mouth slides open, and her tongue sticks out, and she lets out a horrifying screech as Luna stares up in terror and begins flying away, only to get attacked by the tongue. No, please stop! Being pulled back into the mouth, which is unhinging. She screams to startle awake, finding herself somewhere else in a hallway. She squints down the hallway and sees an infected lumbering towards her. She begins running, only to find another door, don't open, dead inside, with a bunch of hooves kind of clawing to get out. She begins tearing up, backing up, only to run into Celestia. Little sister? Big sister, I'm so scared, please help me! Luna, did you forget? This is just a dream. Oh yeah. Have you forgotten how to control dreams? Of course I didn't. And she smiles, and then her face drops because Celestia's face is melting. Oh my god. Good. Or this would hurt. Jesus Christ, dude. That's genuinely terrifying. I love that. Wow. And then she bites her around the neck. Ugh. She screams out and then again startles to alertness, to being awake, I think. Who knows? Have you guys ever had that where you're sleeping and then you like are having a nightmare and you want to wake up really, really, really bad, and you try to force yourself to wake up, and then you think that you've woken up, but the dream has continued? I've had that happen before where it like does it multiple times. It's the worst. She breathes a sigh of relief, only to then get blinded by light. There's some light coming out of that filing cabinet from earlier. She opens it up, pulling out notes, papers, different things. What in the... Oh dear. Twilight. No. Why? Somehow she's figuring out what happened. We're getting like a montage of seeing the different things that occurred. And then she turns. Luna, I thought I told you to stay out of my head. And she turns to see Twilight with something attached to her on her shoulder. Some parasitic creature. Oh, that's terrifying. And obviously we're still dreaming. Oh my Celestia, Twilight, what happened to you? You should have listened. Now I have to kill you. I didn't want this to happen to you. If you had only listened and stayed out of my head... Twilight, what have you done? Why did you... You weren't supposed to find all that out. Well, now you have. Oh well, if only you'd listened. Clearly something has happened to you. We can get through this. You aren't yourself. I can't let you get out of here. You know too much. My friendships are help! A sudden scream comes flying through the white expanse, the void. Twilight looks up, looks around, and Nightmare Moon is gone. And the expanse is kind of turning into more of a cubicle. What was that? Screaming, I think. Twilight's up, and Luna escaped. Who's screaming, and why? By waking Twilight up, I think Luna just saved her life. Everyone's awake now. Who's screaming? And another cry. Help! It's Spike. It's not Spike, it's Scootaloo. Oh, the Crusaders, that makes sense. And she screams again, help! Scootaloo, calm down, what's going on? Clubhouse, zombie, Sweetie Belle. What about Sweetie Belle? I'm so sorry, we should have listened. Apple Bloom is with Sweetie Belle at the clubhouse, we need to go now! And they all immediately go zooming down the lane. Walk down the lane with a happy refrain. Sweetie Belle, they shout at the clubhouse. Wait. I need to see my sister. I understand, but it could still be out here. That looks like Trixie? And Trixie appears, a hideous, horrifying creature. Trixie, it's Starlight. I know you probably don't want to talk to me right now, but I need to apologize. I didn't defend you back there. That was wrong of me. I'm not upset with you. I'm so sorry. Please, let's just talk about this? Trixie. No, and Trixie begins advancing. Girls, formation now! Damn, that's horrible that Trixie got infected while thinking that everyone hated her. That's awful. And she's got tears in her eyes as it looks like, oh, they just turned Trixie to stone. One nice thing is that there have been some real deaths, but a lot of the characters are just being turned to stone, and I'm sure that when they eventually do figure out a cure, if they do, maybe they won't, I don't know. I don't even know if this infection AU is, like, complete. Won't it suck if there isn't an ending? I mean, it'll be fine. I understand if there isn't one, but that would be crazy. That'd be kind of crazy. We need to get my sister. Now. Sweetie Belle? Uh-oh. I tried to get her to safety, but she got bit. I've been controlling the bleeding. I'm so sorry, Rarity. Please help her. Imagine that, like, you were told not to go out because something horrible is going to happen along these lines, and then you go out anyways, and then it does happen, and then all the adults catch up, and you have to be like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And it's like, damn, that's... She needs immediate amputation. Now. Girls, come in and help. Sweetie, that eye injury? What's the cause? It wasn't the zombie. She was trying to fight it off with a stick, but it got sent right back to her, and it's okay. You've done so well. We've got this, hun. Now you and Scootaloo should go sit back. All right, Meadow. Let's do this. All right, every pony, we need a clear space to start this amputation. Twilight, can you fetch me some root and sanitary wipes? Applejack, you're in charge of the chop. I'll need a clean cut in order for a clean patch-up. The pain medication won't kick in fast enough, so chew on this root. It's not as strong, but it does provide some immediate pain relief, and you can bite down on it when we start cutting, okay? Rarity, I'm going to need you to hold Sweetie Belle down. We can't have any movement from her. It can mess all this up. Rarity, I'm scared. I would be scared too. They're about to chop your fucking leg off. I would also be scared if they were about to cut into my tooth and then leave me hanging like that. It hurts so bad, dude. The pressure of my cheek against where it is, like just my mouth in a resting position, hurts so bad. It's been multiple days since I started recording this video. I wasn't able to continue. It will be okay. You've been strong and brave. You can get through this. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have snuck out, and I'm sorry I cut my hair without your permission. No, it's all right, sweetie. It's a good look on you. You really think so? Thwack. That's horrible. And she screams really loud as they say, it's okay, you're doing so good. All right, we need to do her front leg now. No, please, no more. Please, 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 please. What's happening? Why isn't she moving? She just passed out. That's good. It means we can progress. Applejack, I need you to cut off her front left leg. Fluttershy, I need you on aftercare. Twilight, give me the horn clipper. Oh, this is horrible. No, dude. Several minutes later, why did they have to do this to the kid? Why couldn't they have just like made her die? Why did they have to chop her arm and leg off and remove her horn? And her eye is fucked up too. Dude, I feel so bad for her. This is horrible. Okay, we aren't out of the woods yet. Literally, we aren't out of the woods. We need to get her back to the castle. She's lost a lot of blood and needs a few more procedures done with the proper equipment and antibiotics left at the castle. We're the same blood type. I can give blood. Good. Now let's get back. We're on borrowed time and she's still in critical condition. And they all start rushing her back. And she's in the little carriage. What were you thinking? I told you to... I should have listened. If that were you, I'd never be able to forgive myself. I know, I'm so sorry. She's stable, but needs rest. It's best she doesn't get any visitors to prevent spread of germs into her system. Thank you, Mage. Thank you all. I don't know what I would do if I lost her. Thank you. And here comes Twilight. Hey, Twilight, can you do me a favor? Sure. What is it? Can you please not do any testing on her? I think it'll overwhelm her. She doesn't deserve to be poked and prodded. But, Twilight, please, she's just a kid, not a science experiment. Please, leave it alone. Do all the tests on me you want, but not her. Okay, sure, I understand. No experiments. Thank you. Twilight turns as a weird tendril appears, and it's Luna. Luna seems a little pissed off. I wonder why. Alright, so this is part 19. The description says, here's part 19, very close to 20. 20 will be like a season finale, not a series finale. After 20, I'll make a lore video catching up the timeline and lore, and I'll be taking a short break. This was back in 2025. One thing I'm curious about and a little confused by is how frequently they've been able to use the elements of harmony to just turn people to stone, like zap, 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 zap. Because if I remember correctly, in the show, they need to be like embodying the elements in order to use them. They can't just use them. They have to be good. It's kind of like, it's like the opposite of the Ring, how it corrupts people in the Lord of the Rings. It's more like you have to be pure of heart to use this, otherwise it won't work. And pure of heart isn't the exact correct way of looking at it, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like she's done a lot of evil. I don't think that the Tree of Harmony would be like, yes, I will lend you my magic, you know? I don't know. Immediately after the main six left for Sweetie Belle. Discord? Hello, princess. Discord, did you know about what Twilight has done? Is that why you wanted me to go into her dreams? Perhaps. Why didn't you just tell me?
Well, no pony tends to believe me at my word.
Besides, Fluttershy, of course. I just needed you to see for yourself. Great, thanks. Now Twilight wants to make me her next victim.
Then we will stop her before she can do that.
Why would you even know what she was up to?
I am an all-knowing beast, and I like to spy on Twilight occasionally.
Then why didn't you stop the infection if you knew what was happening?
Well, you might not believe it, but I actually care about and like Twilight. When she went to Sunburst to create this science experiment for me, I was flattered. When I saw it didn't work, I followed Twilight around afterwards to watch her mope.
Oh yeah, sure sounds like you care about and like her.
It was all just teasing material, nothing malicious. Anyways, I ended up forgetting about the experiment, and by the time I did remember, it was a little too late. This has been eating me up, Luna, and now the only way to get ahead of this and put an end to it is to, unfortunately, expose Twilight. Something is wrong with her, but she can't get the help she needs until every pony knows.
I suppose you're right. Well, we need to expose this in a proper fashion. We can't create an angry mob out of her friends. The whole reason she's keeping all these secrets is so she doesn't lose her friends.
Well, I think I have an idea on how to go about this.
And now we're in the present day, and she turns to Luna. Who did you tell? Twilight, please, what have you done? Who have you talked to? Listen, we should talk about this. Something is wrong with you, and I don't mean that in a demeaning way. I'm not calling you stupid. I mean, something must have happened to make you do what you've done. I just wanted to do a science experiment. I didn't mean for it to go this way. I was just trying to make a stupid flower. What? I didn't even mean that. I mean what you did to Sunburst. What? He was going to destroy my friendships. He was going to tell everyone what we did.
Twilight, we would have understood. It was a science experiment gone bad. Maybe we would have been upset for a minute, but you didn't know this would happen. What? What do you mean? No, it would have ruined my... Twilight. But what I did to Sunburst... You know what I did to Sunburst. I can't have that. Twilight, come on. It'll be okay. No, it won't. That's what destroys my friendships. I can't let you. And then the door slams and Starlight shows up. Starlight, are you okay? No, I just lugged zombie statue Trixie all the way over here by myself. I'm sorry. We would have helped my friends. Sunburst and now Trixie. I can't do this anymore. Starlight, it's okay. Stay strong. No, we need to find whoever did this. The monster who caused all this needs to pay. I won't be able to live with myself until the monster is dead. Whoa, Starlight, I'm sick of sitting in this castle and doing nothing. We need to hunt them down. They need to pay for what they've taken from me. Come on, Starlight. What? Do you not agree? Look at your sister, Rarity. She's been torn apart. Her life is now in shambles. Did you really think they'd only be a little bit upset? Twilight. All right. Enough of the bickering, you little ponies. Excuse me? Starlight, good friend of mine, you're clearly in a terrible state of distress. You've been through so much these past couple of weeks, and you clearly need a shower. Why don't you clean up and get some rest? But Starlight, please, it's tearing us apart seeing you like this. Now, shoo along. Now, every pony, why don't we go to the library? Luna interjects. This wasn't part of the plan, Discord. Yes, I see that. I wasn't exactly taking into account the potential murderous tendencies of any pony besides Twilight. I'll keep Starlight away while you continue the rest of the plan. What exactly are we doing in here, Luna? Well, I was thinking that we all needed a sort of group therapy session. We haven't had the time to sit down and properly talk about all this. Group therapy? Yes, I'll start. Ever since this started, and they're all sitting in a circle now, this is fantastic. This has been one of my favorite ones so far. I am really enjoying the Crystal Flower Infection. Massive shout out to Yo Kitty Bro. Y'all gotta follow them. Y'all gotta go support the hell out of this. I love this. This is amazing. The art is fantastic. The writing is amazing. The intensity, the way it builds and flows, it's been very fun. Really enjoying it. The comedy as well, like they're all now sitting in like a circle. It's amazing. Ever since this started, I've been moving nonstop. I've felt this extreme amount of emotional baggage, and I will admit, I've made some poor judgment. I've yelled at a lot of guards, had some short tempers with you all, and I'm so sorry. And I went against Twilight's wishes and entered her dreams, and I apologize for that. I want to apologize to Twilight too. Twilight, I told you I'd be right back after the quarantine lift, and I didn't come back. To be honest, I was scared. I thought if I stayed away, everything would somehow resolve itself, and that wasn't the case. I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry. I'm gonna lend my voice to the group therapy session for a second, but honestly, what did Luna think was going to come of this? Everyone was gonna be like, Twilight, I'm sorry. I've made some poor judgments. I wasn't there when you needed me. Her tears would be welling up in her eyes, and she'd be like, guys, oh, this space is such a welcoming, open space. Okay, I've got something to share too. Deep breath. I killed Sunburst. I fed him to the beast. Ah, shucks, I've been feeling really bad. Very funny. Anyways, all right, so now we got more apologies. I wanted to apologize to you too. I've had a short temper with you as well. You're the glue, Twilight, and I've had my moments where I forgot that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry too, Twilight. You just want what's best for us. We should have been by your side this whole time. Yeah. And she starts to cry. She's like, you guys, and then Twilight, I never thanked you. Thanked me? Ever since losing my leg, I've only been seeing things from a negative light. All those tests and experiments and blood taking you've been doing, I've been building this anger in me, but you are trying to help every pony. I'm so sorry for thinking so selfishly. I don't know what's gotten into me to make me angry like I have been, but I'm gonna change. Applejack is right. You're our glue. We all love you. So thank you for doing everything you can to keep us here.
I'm like this close to trying to like change to like a Tom Waits impression.
There's a leak in the boiler room. For the lame, the blind. Who are the ones that we left in charge? Killers, thieves, and lawyers. God's away, God's away, God's away on business. Business.
Sorry, I'm done. Is there anything you'd like to share, Twilight?
Yeah, I've been under a lot of stress too. I've had short tempers as well, and I'm sorry about that. And yeah, I'm sorry and thank you all.
Anything else?
This is a loving environment. Spill your heart out. No, Luna, nothing else.
And Luna's just like staring, grumbling at her, and Twilight's just like... And then Discord pops in. Oh, come on!
Twilight, you're killing me here. We are trying to help you. For Celestia's sake, fess up.
Discord? I don't know what is he talking about? Nothing! He's just being his usual pot-stirring self. Luna, do you know what he's talking about? Luna, don't. Don't what? What's going on? Some Pony, fill us in. What did she do? Some Pony, please. Twilight created the infection. What? And she, Luna, she what? Starlight. Oh, Starlight was slowly walking in from the background for anyone who wasn't able to see. And she what, Luna? And she killed Sunburst. I saw it all when I went into her head, and I found these, and then she brings out the pieces of paper. This is horrible. Twilight, is this true? Discord, you told Luna, didn't you? You said you'd stay silent as long as nothing happened to Fluttershy. You lied!
I said if anything happened to her, which includes her feelings. What you've done has been stressful for her, and all of it has directly affected her friends, which in turn affects her because she is an empath. Not to mention, the sickness you created has spread to her animals.
What? Fluttershy, your animals are sick?
Yeah, that's why I was so hesitant to leave my cottage. They're all sick right now.
Why didn't you say anything? They could have turned by now. Fluttershy, how could you be so... Get your hooves off her!
And he screams at her and shoots, he blasts her back with magic, and then she's like, this is all your fault.
My fault? How is this my fault?
If you didn't test me with your insults, this wouldn't have happened.
This wouldn't have happened if you'd listened to me when I told you science is stupid.
Holy shit, dude. This is amazing. Oh, God. Holy. Okay, I'm fine. And she starts to get really mad, and then she kind of brings all the elements of harmony around her all of a sudden. And you really think that they wouldn't be working at this point. And he's like, Twilight, no. And they turn him to stone. Jesus. And, all right. Wow. How could you? You killed him! Did you think you could get away with it? He got in the way, like you are now. Rah! And now her horn is fucked up, like happened before, and she's attacking with her hooves. She's gonna beat her up with her bare fists. She's gonna beat her up with the bare fists. Amazing. Twilight, what are you doing? You all are trying to ruin my friendships. Something's happening. She's got like blood all over her, and her horn started to do something. This wouldn't have happened if you listened to me when I told you science was stupid. I love this. This is amazing. I'm so hyped up right now. All right. You all know too much, she says, as she's kind of taking power from all of the little jewels and amulets and things, and her horn is getting ready to try and kill people, I guess. I don't know. Twilight, stop this. She turns to Luna. This needs to stop, Twilight. You've been possessed by some sort of evil. It's taken over your mind. You need to break free. I know you're still in there. I created this evil. It's all me. And I created Nightmare Moon, but that wasn't me, and this isn't you. I know how hard it can be to break out of it, but your friends, you and your friends helped me to see the light. Now let us show it to you. You're in there. I know it. Let us break you free, like you did for me. Oh, it looks like Twilight stabbed her in the eye. Oh my God, I didn't realize that before. That's crazy. Okay, I just got distracted for a second by a comment under the video, which is, personally, I really don't see how Twilight is in the wrong here. I mean, how could she have possibly known that animal was under there? She was just trying to do a science experiment, and if it was apparently Twilight's fault for the virus since she created the flower, wouldn't that also mean Sunburst, or am I missing something? And plus, I know that isn't Twilight. That isn't my Twilight. She's clearly possessed. I don't know about y'all, but I'm on Twilight's side. And I know that everyone on TikTok is 12 years old, but she killed him. Like, obviously the beginning wasn't her fault, but like lying about it intentionally makes it worse, you know? Because if they knew what was going on, it might have been easier to overcome, change the path. And also doing the science experiment and then bringing it, like, so normally when you do a science experiment, and they should know this since they are, well versed with strange magic and strange sciences, and they seem to know what they're doing. They're people of authority in this world. Normally you would have restricted conditions. You wouldn't bring it out into the world before testing it and then just put it in the ground, and then when you're done with it, just leave it there. Like, there were a lot of mistakes being made, but the biggest thing is she killed Sunburst. She fed him to one of the infected on purpose. Now, I will say, it does seem like she's possessed. And then on top of that, another thing I will say, the account that posted that comment is called, it has a different name, but it's like Twilight Sparkle #1 fan. So they may just be biased, but I just think I think that comment is kind of hilarious. Anyways, all right. I also think it's funny that Nightmare Moon that Luna is trying to relate Nightmare Moon and that whole situation, and how the main characters have kind of reformed different villains throughout the series to this situation, which feels a lot less redeemable to me because of how evil Twilight is being. In other situations, they're not killing people when you take it at face value through the context of the show. Anyways, let's continue. Luna says, "Please, Twilight, this isn't your fault. We can get through this, but we can only do it together." And she's crying. And then she opens her eyes. "I'm tired of hearing you all talk." And she uses her magic, which has like blood or spores and stuff coming around it, which is that's literally the blood that was all over her horn from stabbing the eye. And there goes Luna, who at the last second shoots a bolt of magic up through the ceiling, immediately summoning her sister from far away, who flies in and seemingly I can't tell, does she take Luna out of the stone? I don't know. Now, and Twilight turns to her friends and she says, "Who else is trying to destroy my friendships?" And then Spike shows up and charges. "Twilight, stop!" "Spike, no, get out of here. Stop, you're scaring us." Who's he holding? The baby? "Twilight, please." And she tries to shoot at him, or is about to, and he braces for impact. And then Celestia shows up, knocking Twilight back. She slowly gets up, and Celestia is looming over her with like a very stern expression on her face. She looks around the room. She sees her sister in the stone. "Princess Celestia, I don't know what happened. What have you done? You're acting like a monster. Turn her back now. You want to take away my friends? You want to take my friends away from me too? What's wrong with her? Is she infected? We have no idea. She's been acting all off since this started. But apparently she created the infection. She's turning every pony to stone. She turned Discord to stone. She killed Sunburst. I don't know what's going on. I don't know." And then she looks up, and it seems like Celestia takes all of the elements of harmony. This would be a perfect moment to turn her to stone. Celestia, and she uses it to save Luna. Okay. And then she hugs Luna. "I saw your beacon, sister." And Twilight immediately gets angry and goes and attacks, stealing back the elements. Creates this force field bubble around herself. "Fine. You can take my friends. I don't need all of you. I will clear all of this myself. Go!" Dun dun dun. That was part 20 though. Is that the end? Dude, is that the end? There's only one slideshow left, and it's the stages. What? Dude, I'm gonna lose my mind. That's as far as it's gotten so far. I've really enjoyed this one. Please, yo kitty bro, please bless us with more content. I'm kidding. If you don't want to, that's totally cool. But regardless, just for the work that's already been done, you guys need to go freaking show up and support Support. Anyways, all right, let's take a look at this. Stage 1. I'm going to be normal. Stage 1. Patient was bit by mosquito that ingested Pinkie Pie's semi-infected blood. Transfer of blood has caused infection in the patient. Flu-like symptoms, hot flashes, chills, excessive sweat, dehydration, swelling of bite organ point. Stage 2. Patient has become very weak and has to be set up with an IV drip for hydration. Patient has started to vomit mysterious black goop currently being tested. Symptoms include continuation of previous symptoms, coughing, blood, resistance to eating and drinking, vomiting, swelling, and spreading of the bite point. Extra notes, the patient has become extremely nervous and has experienced emotional episodes, occasionally becoming physical, but is quickly remorseful. By day 3, we're at stage 3. The patient has become completely non-responsive, still alive, but barely. The symptoms include organ failure, shallow breath, starvation, dehydration, extreme weight loss, low heartbeat, paralysis, blood leaking from eyes, mouth, and nose, hair loss, no motor control, blindness, blood vessels, and eye burst. Patient's original bite point has spread and is starting to smell rotten. Antibiotics have done nothing to combat. We will conduct a potentially life-saving procedure momentarily. There may still yet be hope. And it looks like stage 4 progresses still on day 3. Patient has turned at this point. Appears to be alive, has no heartbeat or brain activity. Patient's previously lost strength has come back in her current undead state. All right, so they like die and come back. Foaming at the mouth, dripping mysterious black goop, low motor function, boils forming on skin, hair loss, and skin loss. Aforementioned life-saving procedure failed. Patient is highly dangerous and is to be kept securely locked until no longer needed for testing. And then what, are you gonna kill them? By day 4, we're at stage 5. The patient's strength has grown exponentially. Grown in height, can stand on 2 back legs. Patient's proportions have begun to distort. There is an extreme foul odor, large boils forming all over the skin, wing deterioration, skin loss, hair loss, foaming of the mouth, more leaking of the black goop. The black goop was tested and it melts any surface that it touches, including flesh. It is a highly dangerous and toxic material. It emits fumes that can cause dizziness and nausea. We've had to replace patient's enclosure 4 times now, due to it melting from the goop. Then by day 5, we're at stage 6. Oh, that is horrifying. What on earth is that? Did we see this stage yet? Patient is believed to be in its final stage. It's extremely dangerous. It needs to be cast to stone immediately. It has a high level of strength, acidic saliva, acid and disease-filled boils on rotten flesh skin. The wing has morphed into a strong, sharp talon. There is no hope for the recovery of patient. From examination of this and other patients, it seems the virus morphs the patient into a monster unique to themselves and their cutie marks. Each monster has a hunger for living flesh that can't be cured. Patient must be cast to stone or executed, or results will be detrimental. And then the final picture, we see a bunch of the people who were turned to stone. Damn, dude. That was crazy. That was really nuts. When did part 20 came out also in 2025. So this has been quite a while. Damn, dude. That was insane. This is one of my favorites that we've covered so far. I've really enjoyed it. Oh my goodness, wait. Infection AU Volume 2. There's one post. I'm not gonna, it's season 2, it looks like, the beginning of season 2. I'm gonna save that for another video. I do want to look at it though to see when it came out. 2025, okay. It's been a while since there's been an update, which is okay. But, this account only has 30,000 followers, dude. What else do they have? Do they have anything else in the link tree? A Discord server, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Artfight, and Pinterest. All right, y'all gotta go support. Show support. This is amazing. Genuinely, one of my favorite ones we've covered so far. Really, really enjoyed it. The art style is amazing. The comics are amazing. And I really like when there's dialogue that is fun for me to read. Reading for Discord is fun to me. Doing the stupid voices and having them yell at each other or whatever. Hopefully it's not too overstimulating for people watching. I know some people prefer their readers to have more of like a controlled, kind of quiet, steady voice the whole time. I just feel like everyone else does that, you know? And for me personally, I really like dynamic reads of stuff. And if I have the energy to do it, I totally will. As always, you can come find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, other places. I have a link tree in the description with a bunch of links. Please follow me because I am hilarious and I have great music taste, and I will attack you if you do not. So how do you like them apples? Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next transmission, and we are Legion. And thank you before I go to all of the enablers over on Patreon. First, I'd like to welcome our newcomers, Ellie Rose and Connor Vernatter. We got 2 new ones, guys, 2 new people. Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate the support. And yeah, welcome in. Thank you to Rue, Nervous, Cupid, Delphi, Joe, Bug, Linty, Paper, Gun, Durarco, Kyojin, Dayton, Dark Beast, Bile, Coyote, Bat Noise, Phoenix, Bees, Amelia, Thomas, Justin, Dave, Tom, Elkie, Stardrop, Nude, Joseph, Fox, George, Boris, Kim, Rotten, Desemiotic, Jasper, Harry, Dugan, Azure, Ellie, and Connor.